Uh-oh, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Psycho Vampire, and today I want to talk to you about a question that I'm sure you've asked yourself a dozen times, and that is, what the fuck does a SATCOM do? I'm going to tell you all about that in this video, but before I do, the gameplay you're about to watch is a kill confirmed on Chasm. I go 21-7, pick up 8 dog tags to help my team, and the class setup that I'm running is right here before your eyes. My primary weapon, I'm rocking the Honey Badger. I got extended mags, my secondary, which I never use, M9A1, frag grenades, concussion, the perks that I got in my class, ready up for 1 point, sleight of hand for 2 points, marathon for 2 points, and quick draw for 3 points, but I definitely think it's worth it. My strike package, I'm running support, and of course, as you know, I'm running the fucking SATCOM, and nobody knows what that thing does. Got an ammo crate and Oracle. So without further ado, let's get into the gameplay and talk about and demystify the SATCOM. Alright, so here's a scenario. You come home, you're pumped up, you just got back from the store because you bought Call of Duty Ghosts. You pop the disc into your Xbox, you go straight to multiplayer, and you're playing a map. You get 3 kills in a row, you get your first kill streak, you're like, fuck yeah, I rock at this game. It's a SATCOM. So you hit right on your D-pad, and you drop this SATCOM, and you have no idea what happened. Well, the SATCOM essentially is the UAV in Call of Duty Ghosts, but it works a little bit differently. In order for it to have a true and real effect, you have to have multiple SATCOMs on the ground. And 1, 2, 3, or 4 SATCOMs, you're going to get a different type of an effect. So when you have one SATCOM on the ground, you have what's called an eyes-on mode. You have to have a direct line of sight to the enemy in order for them to show up on your minimap. This really comes into play when you see somebody run a corner or run behind a boulder and you don't know where they went. They're going to show up on your minimap and you can see where they went, if they zigged or if they zagged. 2 SATCOMs on the ground, you're going to get the traditional UAV type of an effect. There's going to be a radar sweep of your minimap. It's going to show you the locations and blip out each of the enemies that are on your minimap at that time. 3 SATCOMs on the ground. Now you have basically a UAV that happens more frequently, and those radar sweeps happen quicker. You're going to get more of a real-time type of an effect to see where the enemies are on your minimap. 4 SATCOMs, that's where all the magic happens. You basically have an orbital VSAT that you're probably familiar with from Black Ops 2. You can see not only enemy location, but an arrow will show up on that blip to show what direction they're heading. It's a great use when you're trying to figure out where they're going, where they're coming from, and if you have any camping fuckers you could smack with the big dick once you find out where they are. And basically that's it. That's what the SATCOM does. A lot of people think the first time they throw it down, nothing happened. But unless you see an enemy, you're not going to have that type of an effect, and you're not going to even know what to look for. So there it is. You have to get an eyes-on view or have multiple SATCOMs on the ground in order for you to get the UAV type of mini-map awareness. Or once you get to 4 SATCOMs, you're going to have yourself an orbital VSAT where you guys can just dominate the battle space. So why is it like that? You know, I think it's just a new twist on the game. I really feel like with Call of Duty Ghosts, they're trying to dip into the Battlefield type of market. I mean, you could see just with the way the game looks and feels, the maps are definitely bigger. They're not as big as Battlefield, but they're definitely not as small and tight and close quarter combat style like they were in Black Ops 2. And honestly, I kind of like it. It's something new. It's different. They're trying to capture some of that market for those guys who play Battlefield for the most part. You know, maybe not convert them all the way to transition to 100% Call of Duty, but at least some guys will buy the game and spend some of their time playing it and enjoying it and not have too much of the arcade feel, kind of split the difference a little bit. You know, secondly, with the SATCOM, because it requires multiple SATCOMs on the ground for you to get a real effect, it really brings into play that whole team type of a dynamic. I mean, everybody's got to work together in this game at least a little bit more. You can't have those lone rangers, those guys who don't give a shit about the objective. They're just trying to keep their KDR high and just own people and running around, not really even looking to see the positions that they're in or any way to help out the team. Where, I'll be honest, I mean, killing everybody everybody in the map is going to help your team to some extent, but they're trying to have people want to be a team player or try to elicit some type of a team effort. So I really think it's kind of a cool idea, and it works, and it's something where it's going to try to change the dynamic of the game. So with every type of perk, there's always going to be other perks that kind of play onto it. The first one is Wiretap. It's not available right away, but it's under the awareness category, and it takes up 3 slots in your perk allowance. And basically what it does, you have access to all the SATCOMs on the ground. Without this perk, you can only use the SATCOMs that your team puts out, but if you have Wiretap as one of your perks, if the enemy has SATCOMs on the ground, you'll effectively have access to those, and you'll get the benefits of having 2, 3, or 4 SATCOMs. So with the game being pretty new, and most people running the default kill streaks, and since SATCOMs are pretty easy to get with 3 kills, you have a pretty good chance of 2 or 3 and possibly 4 SATCOMs to be on the ground at any given time. So if you're running the Wiretap perk, you could pretty much have a UAV up at all times. And in my experience, that's pretty much been the case. So that's a pretty sweet perk to use that kind of enhances the SATCOM kill streak. The kryptonite to the SATCOM is off the grid. Basically it's simple. It keeps you off the enemy's minimap when they have the SATCOMs enabled. You're pretty much going to be invisible. Keep in mind though, if you're running around making a shit ton of noise with your unsilenced AR-15, you're going to show up on the map in the same way that you do whenever you're making noise using unsilenced guns. So it would be in your best interest, if you want to be invisible, to stay off the grid, that you run a silenced gun with the off the grid perk. But all in all, those are the real only other perks that kind of counteract the SATCOM effect. So overall, I hope that demystified what the SATCOM is, and now when you get it, you actually know how to use it. Alright guys, so I hope that this video helped. So if you could, please like, comment, or subscribe. It will help me out tremendously. This is Psycho Vampire signing out. Peace!